Já viu rico namorar pobre?
Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to do a quick eyebrow tutorial for you all. So right now I'm actually dipping my angle brush into a dark eyeshadow. Any dark brown eyeshadow will work, and I also mix it with a little bit of black. And then I just go in and I fill in the sparse hairs on the bottom of my lash and make a short tail. And I'm not going to do too much talking for you all because you know how to do brows. I'm just showing you all my technique and how I perfect my brows. I actually used to use the NYX gel and I used to use e.l.f. pomade, but I actually went back to this about a month ago. So it's my go-to thing now. I like to have them a little bit more on the natural side and not look so caked in and kind of that shiny look. So I'm loving this look. And again, when it comes to your brows, you can use anything that you prefer, anything at all. I've used eyeliner gels, all types of products on my brows, but I feel like this is just the OG for me. I love using eyeshadow. And again, any dark brown eyeshadow, a little bit of black for your tail and to blend everything in. A little bit of eyebrow gel will do the trick, I promise you. So once I finish the bottom part of my lash, now I'm just actually, or my lash, girl, bye. Now that I actually finished the bottom part, I'm just filling in the sparse areas of where I just kind of want to darken it up. Just any kind of like bald spot areas or any areas that have a little bit less hair. I want to kind of fill that in and just kind of perfect the edges of my brows on the top and bottom just to make sure it's the shape and form of how I want it. Now I'm just going ahead and take a spoolie and I'm just brushing in and blending in those hairs that have shadow on them because I don't really do too much shadow in the front. So I'm just going to blend it in and just kind of perfect it and fill it in how I kind of want it. I actually cut a little bit of the hairs in the front, so I have to kind of fake it till I make it until these bitches grow back. Okay, so I'm just going ahead and filling it in and just trying to make it look a little natural, or as natural as possible, because I don't want it to look like brows and then straight shadow. So I'm just trying to blend it in and make it come all together.
Damn, how you come up with this one?
Now I'm going ahead and using my OG concealer in the color Toffee. This is the LA Pro Conceal, and I'm just going to clean up very lightly with an angle brush up under my brows, just to, you know, just clean it up and just define it a little bit more. But I don't do it too much. I don't use a lot of product. That is key. I do not use a lot of product. I try to use very little so you can still see the cleanup, but you're not really seeing a ton of concealer. And even on my bottom lash, I try to go ahead and use a color that I use normally for my highlight. This is more of a natural color. Normally people like to kind of do a little dramatic. For me, I like it a little bit more natural. I like it to be kind of close to my skin tone, but just slightly a bit lighter. And then I just go ahead and blend everything out. Make sure you get the end of that going towards your nose, girl, because you do not want those hoes floating, okay? Now I just go in with whatever excess powder is on my angle brush from my shadow from before, and I'm just using that to, you know, just help define my brows a little bit more. And I'm just going to use that concealer just to give me kind of a guide of how to keep that bottom line straight. And then I just take whatever excess whatever excess concealer was on the brush, and I just use that to, you know, lightly define the top of my brow. And it's okay if you make mistakes. You can always go back in and fill it in. And that's the one thing I like about eyeshadows, is that you can actually, when you mess up, you can go back in and correct it. So I like that, especially for beginners. It's very helpful when using shadows because it's not harsh. You know, pomades sometimes can come off very thick and very harsh and they dry. The NYX eyebrow gel does the same thing, and it's hard for you to go back into it, especially when you've already done your face. And for me, I do my brows after my face is pretty much done. So I like that I can go back in and fix it and correct it and wipe off what I need to and add what I need to. We're just filling in that tail, darkening it up, and I'm using more of the black shadow now, any black shadow, just to kind of fill that in so that it doesn't look too light and you can see where my actual hairs stop. I'm just going to clean that up, of course. And that's how you perfect the tail. Oh, Royal, it's not getting no better than that. If you don't leave that brow alone, I do not play, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I do not play about my brows. I will take 20 minutes on one brow if I have the time to. Finally, bitch, on to the next brow. This one is actually a little bit easier for me to do though because of the shape of it. You know, these are like neighbors, not like blood sisters. So they're similar, but not really. They're just next to each other. So it really doesn't take me long to do this brow at all. Oh, bitch, they looking good. Yes, yes, come through, brows. good brow day is a good day, period. And it was just that simple, my loves. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my video, and stay tuned for my next beauty content. Love you guys.